This is the DBS1000Pro Solar Generator, and right away, what caught my eye is its shape and design. The unit looks modern, compact, with a practical black and gray finish and a sturdy handle that actually makes it easy to pick up. It looks kind of sleek for something that's packing a lot of power inside. If you're just starting to look at portable solar generators, the first thing you need to know is that these are basically big batteries that can charge from the wall, your car, a gas generator, or with solar panels. And the point is, the DBS1000 Pro gives you a ton of flexibility whether you're camping, road tripping in your RV, or just want a backup for emergencies at home. When I first got into portable power stations, my main concerns were always about weight, size, and how practical these are for real-life use, not just what's written on the box. I've used a number of different brands and setups, so I came at this DBS1000 Pro with a bit of caution, but also a lot of curiosity about whether the portability claims held up. At about 35 pounds, it's not exactly featherweight, but compared to other big capacity setups, it's surprisingly manageable. I'm used to bigger battery systems that can be bulky and awkward, but this one feels like it was actually designed for people who have to move it around. Key features include the fact that it delivers 2,000 watt output, and you can expand that up to 4,400 watt if you buy extra batteries and connect a second generator. That's a lot of power for a unit that's not super massive. If you're new to these numbers, 2,000 watt means you can run things like a fridge, coffee maker, laptop, fans, small power tools, and still have some overhead for your phone and lights. The expandability is what really stands out here. In my opinion, being able to add batteries over time, depending on your budget or your changing needs, is a huge plus. Not everyone needs to lug around 10,000 watt worth of batteries every trip. Sometimes you just want something lighter and more portable for a quick camping weekend. But if there's a storm coming, or you want a heavy-duty backup for your home, just snap on a few expansion batteries and you've got capacity for days. From my experience, charging speed is something that often gets overlooked. Nobody wants to wait half a day just to top up their generator. The DBS1000 Pro supports 1200 watt AC charging, which means you can go from empty to 80% in about 50 minutes. I was honestly a bit skeptical when I read that spec, but after testing, it actually holds up. Super convenient if you're grabbing it and need to be on the road fast. If you prefer using solar and the weather is right, you can hit that same 80% mark in just under an hour with the right panels. For someone who's been frustrated with slow chargers in the past, this quick charge is a real bonus. One of the questions I had was about battery life. These things aren't cheap, so longevity is important. The DBS1000 Pro uses a semi-solid LiFePO4 battery, which, simply put, is a newer kind of lithium iron phosphate technology. The company claims up to 15 years of life and 4,500 charge cycles before it drops to 80% of original capacity. Compared to some of my older generators that start to weaken after a year or two, that's a big deal. If you're spending real money on a power station, you want something that's going to last. The app control part is another key feature that honestly snuck up on me. I'm not the biggest fan of overly complicated apps, but the Dabbsson app is actually pretty straightforward. I was able to check charging status, turn outputs on and off, and even schedule charge times. If you like to keep tabs on your backup power from your phone, this part works well. It's not a must-have if you're old school, but it is convenient, especially if you've got kids or housemates always asking how much battery you've got left. Versatile charging options are a must for me. Sometimes you need to top up with whatever's available. The DBS1000 Pro lets you use regular wall AC, solar, your car's 12-volt outlet, or even a gas generator. The cables are all included, so you're not left scrambling for adapters. This matters when you're in a pinch, or if you're not super technical and just want things to work out of the box. Practicality is kind of the core of this quick review, so I have to talk about real-life use. Setting up the DBS1000 Pro was as easy as plugging my appliances in, and it's got enough outlets for a fridge, some kitchen gear, a laptop, and a couple of phones. When I tested it during a power cut, the generator handled everything I needed and didn't trip the overload protection, which is built in and gives you some extra peace of mind. The built-in LED light, with multiple brightness and even ASOS settings, was handy when I used it at a campsite, especially when packing up after dark. But it's not all perfect. Even though Dabbsson advertises this as lightweight and compact, at just over 34 pounds, it'll still wear you out if you're hauling it long distances. For me, it's fine if you're moving from the house to the car, but you probably wouldn't want to lug it for a mile through the woods. If you need more juice and start adding expansion batteries, that weight adds up quickly. So yes, it's lighter than most similar setups, but still not something you want to backpack with. As for reliability, my overall impression has been positive, but I've seen some reviews mentioning occasional quality control issues. I haven't personally run into problems, but it's something to keep in mind, especially when you're depending on it for emergencies. The customer service, based on online feedback, is decent, but not always the fastest, so I'd suggest checking your unit as soon as you get it to make sure everything's working. The build quality, to me, feels solid. The case is made from sturdy ABS plastic and the buttons and ports don't feel flimsy. I like that it doesn't scream cheap and you actually feel like you've bought a long-term investment. It's also worth mentioning that the manual is easy to understand, which is helpful if you're new to these kinds of products. I'd recommend this for anyone who wants portable power they can trust, especially for camping, RV trips, or as a backup for blackout situations. If you want a setup that can grow with your needs, the DBS1000 Pro stands out because of the expandability and surprisingly fast charging. In conclusion, the DBS1000 Pro Solar Generator is, from my experience, one of the more balanced, real-world options available today. It's not a miracle device, but it solves a lot of problems for people who need flexible, reliable, and portable power. The ease of use, smart app control, fast recharging, and ability to expand capacity makes it a strong pick if you want more independence and less worry about power outages or off-grid adventures. If you found this quick review helpful, make sure to subscribe to the channel and drop your questions or comments below. Thank you for watching.